but at this point, I just want to recognize that today is International AIDS Awareness Day. And all over the world, there is attention being given to the fact that this AIDS epidemic is just so rampant. It's really a pandemic. It's all over the world. It's not just affecting the United States of America, but wherever you're hearing me, all over the world where you're listening, we know that AIDS is a problem. Dr. Grant is the founder of A Place of Restoration. He's also the founder and executive director of the Juvenile Restoration Center. And this is where I met Dr. Grant first. As a matter of fact, Dr. Grant is one of the first people that I met
when you came to Florida.
When I came to Florida. And the center was really the focal point of the work that was being done, though the church was active and ongoing.
Yeah, it was my outreach that actually catapulted me into where I am today, actually working with juvenile crime delinquents at the time.
Right, because I remember you were dealing, and there was a lot of write-up about Crime Boy.
Oh, he was with me just 2 days ago. He comes to church every Sunday.
Praise the Lord. Now that is a success story.
Right.
That is a success story.
The same kid that the community wrote off at age 12, arrested 37 times with 57 charges. He's working now. He's a maintenance engineer. He comes to church every Sunday. He operates my soundboard with my son, who is now becoming the pastor. And he was at my house.
Delano?
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to be ordained in January as the new pastor. I will just remain the founder.
Okay.
You know, there comes a time you have to pass the baton on.
Right.
You know?
You're going to give the mantle over to the children.
That's right.
That's wonderful to hear.
That's where I am right now.
Good. And you know, the viewing audience, you know how concerned I am about legal literacy and everything affecting youth in the juvenile system. And so this is a wonderful praise report to hear that Crime Boy is no longer Crime Boy. He's a man.
He's a man
that has overcome all of the trials that life presented to him, and obviously used the opportunities and his second chances to do something with his life.
And incidentally, his mom, who was in prison at the time, coming out right now as we speak.
As we speak. Wow. So that is a total deliverance.
Total deliverance.
Total restoration, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
That would be appropriate. Total restoration of a family. And so we're here today, and as Dr. Grant just said, you know, like the Juvenile Center is what really catapulted him to where he is today. And we are going to be sharing with you his book. I know that this book has been around for some time.
Well, not this one in particular. This is an upgrade to what I started. It actually started on one page.
Okay.
That's a long story.
Tell the story.
Okay.
Tell the story, because I know the topic and your interest and involvement.
Okay.
You know, is
15 years ago, I was actually watching or listening to the local Caribbean station. And there was a young lady, the host called Dana Wright, hosting a program called TCB, Taking Care of Business. So they would have different guests and people would call in. And this particular day, I was at my desk at work. And of course, we always have vertical radio listening.
Right.
And I was listening, and the discussion was how men should treat women. And when I listened, it was a bunch of garbage I heard. So I was tempted to call in. And I called in. And I started to tell the listening audience how I think a woman should be treated. And at the end of the discussion, everybody called in asking for a copy of what I was reading. The only problem is that I was not reading. So Diana Wright said, you call back, tell us who you are, and you got to write those things down. And so I came up with 10 things, 10 commandments for a healthy relationship.
okay.
So that was just like a certificate, 10 points. And then that came into the book called Lasting Romance, 27 pages. Then it went up to 56 pages. Then it went up to 90 pages. And then the current current book, the same book has been changed to Love, Romance, Marriage, and Sex. Getting it right.
Getting it right.
So that's where we're at today.
That's where we are today.
132 pages.
100.
So from 1 page to 132 pages.
You know, that's very interesting. But I know that it has always been something at the center of what you do. I just remember this, and I don't know if it is that the roses were always there. It was something that just reminds me constantly that this, when I see this, it's like automatically, because as a matter of fact, when I saw you at the Joke Festival, it's the roses that I saw.
The rose, yes.
And I looked across and because I hadn't seen when I saw the
roses. A rose has been always a part of my life. I just love rose. And then, you know, and giving rose.
So you love
and roses to women. So,
okay.
So it goes way back. Okay. You know, and I think, you know, the rose would be, you know, I catch up. Women love roses.
Right.
I've not come across one woman who I don't like roses. All of you women love roses.
Okay, tell me.
Okay. And if the man ain't buying you roses,
something's he's not doing it right. He's not getting it right.
He ain't getting it right.
That's very interesting. And I want to just tap into some of the topic areas, and now that you have a bit of a synopsis of what the book is about, there are some specific areas, and this is not something, I believe this is not something that we can do in one shot, because there's so many different angles to romance, and so many different angles to marriage, and so many different angles to sex. Some people can't even say the word. Oh my gosh, they faint and they sweat, especially in the church community. Oh my God, can't be said from the pulpit. You know, it's not to be talked about. You know, and so, but here we are. There's something to get right about sex. There's something to get right about marriage. There's something to get right about romance. And there's certainly something to get right
about sex.
About sex.
Love
and sex, and not the same thing.
Love, romance, marriage, and sex. It's continuing education.
All right.
Continuing education. The very same way a nurse who has been a nurse for 10, 15 years, every year or every couple of years they have to do refresher courses,
right.
continuing education to upgrade their skills. It's the same thing with loving. You have to upgrade your skills in order to keep the romance in the relationship, which will ultimately lead to marriage, and then the nice part of it, the good sex. Because if the sex ain't good, it ain't going to work.
Not going to work.
It ain't going to work if the sex ain't good.
So that's a vital and important part of a romantic, loving marriage.
It's a cement that draws and keeps the two together. That intimacy, that sexual part of the relationship will mend the marriage and glue it together, keep it going, and it has got to be good. One can't be having fun and the other one is saying, please, what's going on here? No.
Can't wait.
No, in other words, the microwave mentality in the whole aspect of it will not work. You have to be a connoisseur when it comes to the matter of romance and sex.
All right, so you hear that. You've got to be a connoisseur. You cannot be an amateur. This thing is, if it's going to last, you have to know, because that's what a connoisseur is. It's someone who knows, who has knowledge, who is informed.
Take your time.
And you know what you're doing.
Like I always tell folks,
yes,
making love at night in the bedroom starts in the morning from the minute you wake up.
Yes, before you go to work, before you brush your teeth.
Yes, from you wake up. In other words, it's a series of preparation. So you prepare all day. You have to be a connoisseur now. Yes. All day. During the course of the day at work, you'll be calling. Hi, honey. Hi, sweetheart.
You're setting it up.
You know, what are you wearing? All of that goes into the entire thing until at night. You come home, and as the man, if you come home before your wife, your partner, then you make certain that things are being put in place. Don't wait watching television for her to come home and start cooking. Start cooking.
You see, this is okay, because you see, this is the thing that people have a problem, especially Caribbean peoples. that it's about, that it's just about the act itself.
No.
So many of them have that thought. They're not going to get involved in the cooking. Come on now. They're coming home and they pick up the newspaper, or they put their feet up and they turn on the sports and they're watching television, just waiting for the meal to be served. And after the meal is served, that they burp and
that's right, burp and fall asleep.
Exactly.
But then, and by the time all that takes place, the poor lady's tired.
But she's done everything.
She has done everything. Maybe have to take care of the kids too. Now they go into the bedroom. She's tired. And now he wants to touch her. The woman is tired.
She had to come home and cook.
What did you do to help her during the course of the day?
Right.
So it takes two. In every relationship, it takes two. It's a give and take relationship. What am I bringing to the table? And so many of us, we want to go to the love table. What can I get? Not saying, what can I give?
Yeah,
what can I put? What am I bringing to the love table?
Right.
So it takes two.
Really does. All right. So when we come back, we're going to go to a station break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you, what about expectations? You said our expectations can ruin a good thing.
A good thing, yes.
So when we come back from our station break, I'm gonna ask you
Great.
about what those expectations are. This is Views and Expectations, and we'll be right back.